Hello and welcome to the world of Pisces. Pisces, I hope that you all are radiating positive energy at this time. Let's hop right into it. Pisces, get a universal message and let's see how you guys are feeling on the soul's journey. Messages for Pisces for their highest good. Love and light. Blessed be. All right, Pisces, so let's hop right in. See what the universe has for you. Pisces, you have crossed the bridge of happiness. It leads over the depths of your emotions. Cross the bridge of happiness. It leads over the depths of your emotions. The number 42, which breaks down to a 5. Okay? And it's about getting the experience, moving on, trying something different, doing something different, change, you know what I mean? So, if you want to be happy, you got to change your perspective. And when you come up from down deep in that ocean and you can get over whatever hurdles may be delaying you or stopping you, then you'll find happiness. Happiness comes in moments. You know what I mean? You make it happen. So if you want to be happy, you got to overcome those deep emotions. You got to make it to the other side. You got to be able to control it. You can't stay down at the bottom of that ocean. You got to come up, right? Because you're trying to battle your spiritual and physical world. And it's emotionally draining. And some of you may have not been happy for the past few years because you've been so emotional and deep down in that ocean because of life and everything that's been going on with your family, your relationships, your children, at work and, the things you deal with the company that you keep. So, sometimes you could just get buried in your emotions. The universe is saying it's time for change. It's time to come out of that. You better than that. You stronger than that. You don't have to wallow in depression. You don't always have to be sad. You have plenty of opportunities to take chances to be happy. You got to create it. You know what I mean? If you choose to stay down, then you're going to be down. But you choosing to rise. You choosing to change. You choosing to master yourself emotionally. Okay? So it looks beautiful over there, okay? It looks comfortable. It looks like there's peace, I feel like some of you are getting in that villain era to where you don't give a damn too much no more. You're going to speak on it. You're going to feel it. You're going to say what you got to say. You're more real with yourself. You're being more authentic. Okay? So that's what the universe wants you to know here for you on your soul's journey, Pisces. You got to create your own happiness. It's a choice. Okay? It's a choice. So let's hop right in, Pisces. Let's check up on the energy of you and your person. And let's see how they feeling about you when it comes to love, romance, and relationships. Remember, take the energies how they resonate for you. If it's not your story, don't try and make it fit, all right? You can stick around to the end. There may be something that becomes relevant for you. But if not, you can carry on to the next video respectfully. Thank you, Pisces. All right, so let's see what's going on with you and them. First card showing up is the Ten of Swords. Maybe some sort of ending, some sort of new beginning happening. Something has to end for something new to begin. Okay, it's like you dealing with someone you need to let go of. You deserve better. You want better. Maybe you see better in someone else. But it's all about releasing the baggage. You know what I mean? If you want to move forward, if you want things to change, if there's something arising in you, you have to learn to release. Because sometimes you don't have enough room for what you want because you holding on to the things you don't want. So it's just time to release something around this situation or the situation itself. Okay, what else comes? Okay, you got the Nine of Wands. And this is all about not giving up on self, mainly. But I feel like whatever's going on here, you don't want to give up on your person. It's like, even though it's swords and wands, I feel like this is a situation already to where it's like, I love you, but are you good for me? You know what I mean? Like, you a good person, you a good guy, you a good girl, but are you good for me? You know, the love may be there, but we all know love isn't enough. You know what I'm saying? So I'm feeling like this something around this needs to end in order for growth to happen. Something needs to be released so something new can come in, whether it's a new perspective, deeper love, more communication, committing and being stronger within the connection. More swords, 9 of Swords. Okay? And this speaks of fears, all up in your thoughts still, unable to sleep, worrying constantly in the heart of it. Okay? And I don't know why that is. I'm not feeling why it's so much worrying and fear. Okay? But I'm going to clarify it. What else comes, Pisces, is Justice. Okay? It could speak of some sort of ending, but it's all about things coming into balance, things being fair. If I'm pouring all the way into you and you not pouring in me, my cup, I'm gonna start going up because my cup is light. You gonna start weighing heavy on me because I done gave you all I have, and it's draining. So now I'm drained. I'm weaker, right? So it needs to come into balance so we can stand side by side and be together. On all levels. Mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, we got to be able to communicate. We got to be able to maneuver around each other, know what we like, what we don't like, what we approve, what we don't approve. Not saying everything's going to be perfect or has to be perfect, but at least somebody wants to grow, and it's like there's someone else who's just, this is me, right? Change. Right? Somebody's changeable. Somebody might be a life path 5, get bored, stuck in the same routine. Ain't for me. I get depressed. I got to be free. I got to move about. I got to do something. I need some form of entertainment. This can't be it. It's like let me keep going. Okay. What else comes with this situation? The Queen of Starships in the reverse. Queen of Cups in the reverse. It's like somebody's miserable. Unhealthy, right? Depressed, sad, down there on the soul's journey, down in the depths of the ocean. You want to be happy? You got to choose to be happy, right? You want peace in your house, in your life, you have to create it. That's why we got to be careful who we invite in, So it's like you got to be sure of yourself, okay? What can you do to feel better, be better? What can you do to come up out of depression or sadness, okay? So what I'm seeing here is just, something around or inside of this situation needs to change so there could be something better. It's like, I don't want to give up on my person, but I don't want to be the victim. I don't want to play the victim. I don't want to be the victim. I don't want my feelings hurt. I don't always want to be sad. I don't want to have to hold my tongue or feel afraid to speak or feel afraid to feel, right? I don't want to keep pouring all I have into a situation or a person who isn't giving me what I need to feel great as well, right? So it's a decision has to be made. Some communication needs to be had. What's crossing? And it's the 3 of Pentacles in the reverse. And that's being closed off, not seeing this going anywhere, not feeling like it's not right for you, It's like I see potential there. I know the quality because this 3 of Pentacles is about value. Oh, I'm thinking about the 3 of Wands. Excuse me. But still, this 3 of pentacle in the reverse is not being able to work properly together. Not being able to open up to each other and create some form of system to where you guys could coexist together. It's like it's hard for either you or your person to see how to figure this out so we can work out, so we can make it, so we can advance our relationship or raise the vibration of it. Because right now, somebody just seems miserable and depressed, right? Good, look, the Wheel of Fortune under that. Good things could come out of this, and with the Three of Pentacles being in reverse also, it doesn't speak of third party energy, right? So it's like I got a good person, it's just we not good on all levels, right? Like somebody got to a certain point in their life and they stayed there and they comfortable with where they at, and it seems as if they're unwilling to make any form of change, or if they do, they go right back to that level no matter what. If they rise, it's a month, it's 2 or 3 days, and then you slowly see them going back to where they comfortable at. So it's like that type of behavior has made somebody severely depressed inside of this connection. All right, so let's talk to the Nine of Swords in the heart of it, and let's see what's going on. The Six of Wands in the reverse. Okay, so the fear of this situation is that, somebody's going to bring me down with them. It's like if you're unwilling to grow, if you're unwilling to compromise, if you're unwilling to see things for what they are, understand what a person is asking for, then we're not going to make it. Six of Wands in reverse is I don't recognize you. I don't know what you're talking about. Somebody could already feel like they won already. And this is what a victory looked like. But somebody's like, this is dimming my light. I'm becoming closed off, isolated, depressed, miserable, stressed. Because you don't see me. It's like somebody tried to explain, but it's like with the Nine of Swords, what I'm going to keep explaining for? I just sit up and think and worry and stress out about it, because when I communicate with someone or when I talk to you, it's like you're not feeling me, you're not seeing me. So what's the point? Nothing changes. I can talk till I'm blue in the face, right? So it's that somebody feels you don't see me, you don't understand me, right? You don't know what it takes to win my heart fully and completely. But it's not like it's a bad person. It's just the King of Cloaks. King of Cloaks. A cloak is something that can hide you, The King of Swords is someone who's quiet. Someone who knows the truth about situations. Someone who's a great thinker, smart, can be manipulative, The King of Swords is someone who will fight for what they want, but they're controlling. And, they think their way is best. They think I know everything. They think they know everything. But they may do know a lot of things, and, the way they think or the way they move, the information they have, but what do you know about emotions? You know what I'm saying? What do you know about feelings? What do you know about compromising in that area? So that's what I'm seeing here. It's like you got a good person. It's just you're not connecting on all levels. And over time, it's just become draining because you need some form of emotional fulfillment from your person, some type of emotional attachment to your person, and it just seems like they're not giving you that. But at the same time, they know it takes that. I know if I'm this smart, I know to have a relationship, I got to be able to be emotionally expressive, emotionally vulnerable, emotionally there, so You kind of just take that for face value, for what it is. You take that how you can apply it to your story if it fit. If it don't, then that ain't your part. But then we have justice here. And it's like being fair, speaking the truth, taking the blinders off or separating judgment in reverse. See, it's like somebody's refusing to come out of their shell, to advance, to level up, to renew or, anything. It's just like I'm stuck where I'm stuck at. Like I'm comfortable here. I don't need nothing more. I don't need nothing less. Right? And they not realizing that this is, what's going to be the very thing that bring about a death of the relationship. That's going to break you guys up. If you're unwilling to open up, to be expressive, to show your love, to be emotional, if you're not willing to share those sacred parts of you're not going to last with a Pisces. If you're emotionally detached, if you're not willing to open up, if you're not willing to meet Pisces where they need you to be, or vice versa, if you're not willing to meet somebody with what they need, it's like it's a good person. They just can't fulfill all your needs. You know what I mean? Because they refuse to open up to them. They're always right. Their way is the right way, or they're just stuck in that loop. Making up all type of excuses, on why this and that. They got an excuse for everything. Okay. So what else comes here with this Justice card? The Three of Wands. All right. And that's just what I was saying earlier, It could be something great here. This is something that could possibly be worth fighting for. But somebody feels like, for what? I've already expressed all I can express. I've shown you the best parts of me. And now it's just with the Three of Wands being in reverse. I'm kind of, feeling less valuable. Feeling like I'm not going to make it here. Because you won't give me what I need. You refuse to open up. You refuse to change. You refuse to move forward. You refuse to grow. So you could have been fighting for someone to love you. I mean, that's just what I can call it. And because they didn't get it or refuse to acknowledge what you need, you've become depressed, miserable, stressed, right? Emotionally drained. Because you're trying to teach somebody how to love you. And they know how to love you. They know what you want, but are they capable of giving it to you? Right? Because I don't see them as being a bad person. I just see something needs to change in order to work out. And if you've done all you can do, cried all you can cry, said all you can say, begged all you can beg, try to show by example, and they may show up sometimes, but mainly they hear. What are you going to do with that? Can't change people. You may feel they don't love you enough, or like something's wrong with you. You start making all this stuff up in your head. That's not true, simply because, you're lacking here. Two of Swords, right? You don't see it. You don't feel it. And you have to make a decision. You have to make a decision for you. That Nine of Wands is out here. You can't give up on yourself. Even though, you may see potential, but there's something missing. A big piece of it is emotional fulfillment. How are you as a Pisces going to survive a relationship if there's no emotional fulfillment? How? I don't see it being possible. You have to you have to get with someone who can tend to your emotional needs, all your needs. And you have to be with someone who you could do the same for. It's like a choice. I'll choose to love you when I feel like it. I'll choose to, be happy when I feel like it. Like everything is a choice in life. Cause and effect. You know? You could choose to stay here and try to fight for it. And when they do give it to you, you had those moments, happiness coming moments, right? But after that, you back down in the depths of the ocean. You back down there in your feelings. You know what I mean? So how are you going to bring balance to yourself to where you can have joy, to where you could be content with yourself, to where you don't have to fight for love? You got to decide something. We can make up all the excuses in the world. They pay my bills. I got kids with this person. I love them. They're a good guy, good girl. They're a good person. It's just the but they, and then, you got to evaluate how you feel and how you moving now because of how you feel. How does that affect you? How does it affect the children, the way you interact with others, your spirit at the time? We don't want you to always be feeling down because of how your person makes you feel. So you got to think about that, right? You got to choose something. You can't walk through this blindly or ignoring the issues that you have, because you deserve to feel what you need to feel. 5 of Swords in the reverse. Okay? It's like Pisces said, look, I've tried to come to some form of agreements. I tried to, make it work. I settled. I agreed to certain terms. And I don't think it's nothing that was spoken. It's just I agreed to it when I accepted it because I'm still here. I'm still sitting. I'm still involved. So you don't want no drama. You don't want to argue. You just want to express what you feel, what you think, what you need in a relationship. And you want them to agree with you. You want them to open up to you. But it's like you're not getting nothing that you want. And you spending a lot of time fighting for something that's not there. This person seems to be who they are. Yeah, in moments you could get happiness. In moments we have good times. But mainly, just quiet. And in my head, I think a lot. I don't say too much. I think a lot. It's probably who just always in their thoughts. They may be stressing. Okay, but the 9 of Wands, it's like, can't give up on yourself. And look, there go that 3 of Pentacles again, and it's still in the reverse. This is somebody, you try not to give up on somebody who just don't know how to work with you. Like, it's like, they're not built for it. They're not meant for it, They can't give you what you want. But it's not like they're a cheater. I really don't get the vibe. It's not like they're a cheater. It's not like, is drama going on in your lives. It's just someone who can't meet you where you need them to meet you at. Maybe you got with them at a certain age, maybe younger or older. I don't know. The soul's journey card is about change. It's the number, it's just about change. So you maybe just one of those people who can't remain the same. Like, I've grown. I'm elevating. Judgment in reverse. This person ain't growing. They reached their max. They reached their max. And it's either, 10 of Swords. You could let it go and have a new beginning and let something new come in that's on your level or that could meet you where you at or above. Or you can stay and continue to fight for the things you never get. But is it about cheating? Is it about the drama? Is it about somebody else? I don't get that energy here. I just get you dealing with someone who's reached their max. They comfortable in their life. They are who they are. And this is who they are. And you have to be able to see that with that Two of Swords. You know, you have to lift the veil. You have to accept that this is who you dealing with. This is who they are. They ain't gonna never change. They could give you something, but it's not enough for you. It's not what you want. And that's just the reality. You have to just accept it. Maybe you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Maybe nobody don't want to hurt your feelings. But if that's the reality, what are you going to do with that? That's the reality. There's Seven of Wands in reverse. You given all you can give. You surrendered everything. You gave up everything. And then they still don't see you. They don't recognize you. They don't understand you. They can't fulfill your emotional need. And you vulnerable with them for whatever reason. You know? So the Ten of Swords, right? An ending. A release. Because with the Ten of Swords, it's like you've been through everything. You've begged for clarity, honesty, and truth. Right? The Two of Swords out here, you definitely don't understand it, can't see why it's happening. Three of Swords, it ain't doing nothing but hurting you. Four, you can't heal where you've been hurt. Right? Five of Swords come in reverse. You don't want to argue, beef, fuss, and fight. You ain't trying to destroy a person. You're trying to compromise. You're trying to see if there's anything else we could do. Seven of Swords, they hiding what they feel. They can't express it. Who knows what type of person they is, whatever happened to them in life. But the emotional part is like a ghost. You know? Eight of Swords, this is a thinker. They always in their thoughts. They trapped in their thoughts. They stuck in 1992, 2002. I don't know. Somewhere they just capped off. Nine of Swords out here, too. A lot of swords. It's all in the mind. Somebody's mind is stuck somewhere. And yours ain't. Ten of Swords. What you gonna do with that? Are you gonna just keep accepting everything and repeat the cycles over and over? Keep asking the same questions. Keep begging for the same shit that you may never get? Or are you gonna release something so you can allow new beginnings to happen, so you can flow? So you can come up out of being depressed or miserable or stressed out, emotionally drained, fighting for something that a person can't even provide for you. They can't even give it to you if they wanted to. They don't know how. They never been there. You know? So Ten of Swords, right? And it come with the Seven of Swords and also the Hermit. I feel like, you know, the Hermit speaks of soul searching, you know. This Seven of Swords speaks of deception, betrayal, you know, denial, not unable to open up, unable to give, secretive. I mean, everything's leading towards, you know, finding yourself, right? Finding yourself, releasing something. Right? Go into a meditative state, you know, to see what it is that you truly need, what you truly desire, what path you truly supposed to be on. You know, that's it. That's all. And I made a mistake on this Cross the Bridge of Happiness. That's because I ain't got my glasses on. The number 42 breaks down to a 6. And this is about home and family. Right? How to make a happy home. Right? Don't want to leave your family. Don't you put too much time and effort into it. You feel like you got to stick it out. You know, you can make it work. We could do this. Sometimes you just can't. Somebody really loves their family and they don't want to be the one to walk away, but I can't keep being the one being hurt either. Right? So this is the energy, Pisces. What's crossing everything? It's the Ten of Pentacles. This what you really want. You want to get back all the effort that you put into it. You want to have peace in your life. You want your family to stay together. You want to be able to enjoy the small moments, the small things. You just want happiness, and you want to be stable. You want to be secure in it. You want something secure, and you're not secure here. Period. Like, what else you want me to say? You're not secure in this situation. Not because of cheating. Not because they're not there. They just can't be there for you the way you need them to be there for you, and that's emotionally. And because you don't have an emotional connection to this person the way you need it or want it or desire it or think it's supposed to be, it's depressing you. You're the only one unhappy because you're dealing with somebody who capped off. That's as far as they can go. That's all the knowledge they have. They can't learn nothing else. So you got to be able to understand that it is people out here like that just reach a certain point and that's it. They never come up out of 1992. They never come up out of 2002. They never come up out of 1999. They still stuck in 1940, and it's 2025, the end of the year. Okay? Some people just cap off somewhere and that become life for them. And if that ain't what you want, that ain't what you want to be in, what are you going to do, baby? All right. So this the energy, Pisces. Let's get a practical self-care oracle to close out the reading. And the card says a fresh start. A fresh start. Okay. You're being given the opportunity to begin again. Allow yourself to embrace this new life and open up fully to this gift that you've been given. Okay? You can do better. That's it. That's all. I don't, it seems really sad and really, something. Okay, but Pisces, that's the energy. I hope it resonates. Let's get a word from the chakra wisdom to promote positivity, to see which chakra needs to be worked on, or to simply get an inspirational quote that we can say to ourselves each and every day. I got a broke pair of glasses right here. I got to put these on because I can't see. Okay, so you got the sixth chakra, and this is the third eye chakra, Pisces, and this one is relevant to intuitive perception. Okay, so the card says, I know what my intuitive senses tell me are true. I open myself to the truth that is within and around me, and I know that this is there for me to receive. I practice developing my intuition, and I know that it is a major aspect of who I am. In the stillness and silence of meditation and contemplation, I will experience and know the truth. Okay? So intuitive perception is the positive energy. If you're new to my channel and you like this video, go ahead. Hit that like or subscribe button. For those of you who are returning, thank you for your continued support. And remember that your comments are always welcome. This is all I have, Pisces. As always, be safe, be blessed, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.